The laws of the universe that make life easy. I'm Brian Withers, empowerment coach, trainer, and author. Well, laws are put in place basically to keep order and also let us know if we break from the laws, what happens when we do that. And that way everybody has a sort of a consistent understanding of the ways of that things work. So if you take something in nature like the law of gravity, we know that if we walk off a second floor, that the law tells us what it's going to do with us, and we're not going to like that. And it's equal for everybody. The same thing applies to everybody. Similarly, the traffic laws are if a light is red, you stop, and if the light is green, you go. And if you break from that law, then there's consequences that happen from that. Just a simple example like that. So the universe really has the laws as well in that same way, so that we know how to conduct ourselves in terms of living life, so that we can have the good life that we came for. And we did come for a very good life. And that's got to tell you that we must be deviating from the laws of the universe, because if we were living in accordance with the laws of the universe, then we would be living a very high vibration, very satisfying life in all ways, all of the time. But we know that that's not the way it's been going for humanity. So let's have a talk about the laws of the universe that are in place to keep order and keep things working well for us, so that we can have the joyous life that we came for. Now, I typically don't talk about the creative process in terms of the 5 steps being laws, but I'm going to put that perspective on it in this video, just because really each step of the creative process is really like a law, because it's consistent and it's definitely to keep order and allow us to know that if we work within that order, then we certainly do receive and live the good life that we came for. So the overall law is the law of joyous expansion, and that's the law that tells us the reason that we came here is to engage in a physical life and have experiences which give us awareness, which then cause an expansion to happen when we don't like something. And then we, through positive energy, high vibration, broadcast the law of attraction, we can receive what we want. And then that's another experience. We get more awareness. And then it's just a continuous cycle of joyous expansion. And the receiving of the things that we want, of course, come on a path of details over time through our days, and those are all joyous details. So the universe tells us that's what we came for. That's the reason we came, and that's the law of joyous expansion. It guarantees that that is what the way that this universe conducts human life. So as we break that down and we go into the creative process, we can look at the law. We call it the law of asking. Again, I don't usually refer to these as laws, but just for argument's sakes and to give a little different perspective to be helpful in the understanding of why life is so good and easy for us, I'm just going to use that terminology in this video. So let's call it the law of asking. And what does the law of asking mean? Well, it means if we have an experience that we don't like for some reason, we want it to be different in some way, our inner being knows immediately exactly what we want. It could be about relationships, money, health, peace. Maybe we want more peace, fun, a house, ourself, job, business. It could be a thought about anything, an experience about anything, and we're not liking it in some way, which immediately basically tells our inner being what we do like. And we would, if we were calm, we could realize that in the moment too. We typically don't at this juncture in humanity, because we tend to get a little upset or bothered by things that we don't like, and we're out of alignment, so we don't really see exactly what we want. But that's part of what I teach, is to be able to do that, be in those unwanted situations, and just immediately recognize the value in it and the goodness that it is expanding to in your life. So your inner being knows that right away, even when you don't. And it's a celebration because your life literally just got better in that moment. It expanded to more. So that's a law. That happens automatically. You just go through your day, and that's guaranteed. Now, this one, you can't vary from this law because there's no variation on it. You go through your day, and you're going to like what you're enjoying, and so that's all high vibration. That's all good. Or you're not going to, and if you don't enjoy it, then this is exactly what happens here. No questions asked. You don't have to do anything. The asking for what you want in life, it's not something you have to do. It's something that happens automatically. So we could call that a law, that when you don't feel good about something, the law says that you get the better preferred version set up for you vibrationally. And that is what happens in the next part of creating, because we call this the law of creation, which means your inner being in the last part knew what you asked for. So now it's set up that wonderful experience that you want, the new version of it, and this pathway of lovely details. And so you can receive that path, and when you do, so the contrast from step one is this, we're in there, and then there's the creation of this other path that leads you to receive the thing that you want. And that's the way we want to look at contrast, that as soon as we have it, it opens up a new road to receive something that's much more preferred. And so that's what your inner being does. It sees you here in the stormy weather and creates you in the sort of the rainbow version of that situation. So again, that is a law of the universe, that when you have an experience like that, that automatically is the asking, and your inner being hears it and automatically does the creating. So we'll call that the law of asking and the law of creating. Now, that thing is created vibrationally first. Okay, it's a vibrational reality, and it's on the way to you. It's not waiting to come to you or anything. It's all around you and ready for you to receive it. Okay, so now we get into the law of allowing, where you get to open up one door or the other, high vibration or low vibration. This is where your daily thoughts, this is the part where you really engage in life. As you could see, these first two parts, they were automatic. But this law of allowing, you're really participating in that fully in your daily life, because it's all about the thoughts that you're choosing. And depending on what you're choosing, it will depend on what door you're going to end up going through, what pathway you're going to be on. So let's look at that. So if you're feeling your natural worthy and deservingness, then you know your value, your importance. I mean, that's really key, that you know that. That's going to feel good all the time. Once you know the wholeness of yourself, the truth of yourself, you're just going to feel free. You're going to feel your natural abundance, that it just flows to you. You just know that the universe is totally behind you at all times. Everything is serving you. You're just going to feel totally good about yourself in every way. That's very, very important. So knowing that keeps you in those high vibration thoughts, so you're going to be thinking those about yourself. And then, as you know how the creative process works itself, that's the knowledge of life that is, and I'm explaining it right now, and you can see how automatic and easy it can be. Some automatic pieces for sure, and then other pieces that can be easy if we learn how to think about ourselves, for example, and then we know how to interpret life. We understand it as a reflection of our vibration. So we're understanding it and accepting it from that perspective. And of course, that feels good to us. Like, we know nothing's being done to us. We don't blame anybody or anything like that. We're just calm and easy, saying, okay, well, I've offered a vibration and now I've got back and I don't like it. So that's contrast. I like a situation that is, and we name that and we think about that. And we feel that, and we don't have to feel it going all through our day all the time. But now that it's a vibrational reality, anytime we feel good, then we're a vibrational match to the new experience, and we can be receiving it. And then as we feel good about ourselves, we feel good about life because we know how it works. We understand why things happen in life. They're a vibrational mirror to us. then it's so easy for us to feel our dreams, the emotional essence, feel the emotional presence of our dreams. Dreaming then becomes so easy for us using our imagination and feeling the realness of it, because we know we're worthy and deserving. We know how everything is coming to us from the creative process. We know the things that come into our life. It's just vibrational feedback. So we're comfortable, at ease about everything. And so that's that door that's going to open. That's the high vibration door, and that's going to be the signal we're sending to the law of attraction. But we have the freedom. Maybe we don't think these things. Maybe we don't know about these things, which we don't know a lot about this growing up. We get sort of the faulty belief version. So we spend time in confusion. We get down about ourselves or about life. We feel uncertain about life. We're blaming and we're being defensive. We're being impatient and doubtful. These are all very common to us growing up and even in our adult life, because we don't know this. We're not really solid on this. And this is what my books are about and what these videos are about, to get you back in tune with what life really is all about and how it works. But until you get that, you're going to experience a lot of this. And this is all low vibration. And so even though your inner being has got this lovely path to the new experience that you want from the contrast, you end up going down the road into the storm again, and then you go into the storm again, and it's just a continuous manifestation of the same storm. What's that look like in real life? It means maybe you have a lack of material wealth, money. Maybe you're having a rough ride in your relationships with people. Maybe you're working a job that you don't like, and it's just staying that way because you keep offering that energy. So again, this law of allowing is saying, well, whatever vibration you're going to give to the law of attraction, that's going to determine what the law of attraction gives back to you. That's a law you can be guaranteed. And if you give it high, it's going to give you high, and you give it low, it's going to give you low. So here's all the reasons to give it high, and then in the absence of that, we just by default give it low. And so the law tells us whatever it is that we focus on, that's the vibration, and then the law of attraction will bring that equal back to us. So you can see why it's so important to understand how life works, understand this creative process, understand who you are, understand that life is a reflection of your vibration, so you don't take it personally or any of that kind of thing, and how important it is to feel the realness of your dreams and desires. You can see how important that is now, because when you do that, then of course you're opening that door, that high vibration door. And then in the law of manifestation, it is you, and depending on which energy you're offering, low or high, then these things come to you: action, thoughts, timing, other people, synchronicity. This all comes to you. But if you're offering low vibration energy, that worry, doubt, unworthiness, all that kind of stuff, it's the low vibration version of these, you see. That's a law, because it's consistent. If you offer low vibration to the law of attraction, it is going to give you the low vibration version. And if you offer high vibration, it's going to give you high vibration version. So you can see the orderliness to the universe. It's perfectly in order. And if we know how it works, then we can work in these laws and use our mind, our powerful mind, in a way that works in accordance with the laws. And then we live our life of joyous expansion. And it keeps everything very orderly in the universe. Life is very fair. Everything that's happening, you can see from this image and what I'm talking about here. Life is fair. You may not like it, but it's always fair. If you offer low vibration, you're not going to like it, but it's still fair because you're getting back the vibration that you put out. And if there's things going on planet Earth, I'm sure somebody has the question, well, what about this on planet Earth? Well, that's to do with the collective consciousness. That's all of us together. So if the collective consciousness is low, we're going to get things on planet Earth that are not very pleasant. And even though it's not pleasant, it's still fair because it's a match to the vibration that we're all putting out together. So you can see the orderliness in the universe, and that if you will abide by the laws of the universe, you will most certainly live your life of joyous expansion. And then, of course, as the law of attraction is bringing to you either the high vibration version or low vibration version of these details, then you're receiving. And based on that, you're either receiving the dreams and desires that you have, or you're receiving the train wreck version of life, which is more of the things that you don't like. It's all very orderly. It's all very fair. It all makes perfect sense. Nobody should have any doubt about why things happen in life and why they are the way that they are. What I just explained to you here is the exact explanation that tells you exactly how life works, and if you want it to change, exactly what you have to do to get it to change to be the way that you want it to change. It's a beautiful universe. It's set it all up for us to be very clear on how it all works, and we get to choose which way we want to work it. This cycle keeps working all the time. There's not a part of this cycle that ever rests. It's always working, and the pivotal point is right here in the law of allowing. When you send the low vibration over to the law of attraction, or high vibration, whichever you send, even though you did the asking and your inner being set up the creating, if you offer low vibration, you just receive more of the contrast that you don't like instead of the dreams and desires that you had. And so it's a perfect cycle, and then it keeps going around. So if you offered high vibration, you get your dreams and desires, then eventually you're going to want something different or more about it. That's just natural contrast. If you offered low vibration, you're going to receive the manifestation of the same thing that you don't like, and it's the same contrast, and then you're going to be asking from that perspective, and then around you go again. Now, your inner being's already got it created, so it's just you get another opportunity to receive it, to send a signal to the law of attraction that's based on knowing who you are, knowing how life works, knowing what circumstances are in your life and why they are the way they are, because it's a reflection of your energy. And then you're feeling the emotional presence of the things that you want. So when you're thinking from that perspective, then of course you're going to be receiving the things that you want, because you're in that high vibration, you're in alignment, you're a match. So that's the cycle. That's the cycle of joyous expansion. The law of joyous expansion is this, and these are the laws of the universe. And just to add another one in there, I talk about the law of expression. The law of expression figures in with the law of allowing, because the law of expression has to do with knowing yourself. And when you know yourself, you have natural gifts and talents, and you have passion to use those and express those, then that's the law of expression. You have that within you, and it is a law that you if you express yourself with those things, they are high vibration, and you're going to receive high vibration back. That is a law. The truth of abundance I talk about, which would factor in under the law of receiving, again, as you are in your high vibration state, you're in the flow of receiving the abundance of everything you want. So life caused you to ask if it was for money or a house or a trip or other kinds of abundance, friendships, or a certain kind of job or business. It's just the abundance of everything. That's all set up for you to receive. And as you're flowing this kind of high vibration energy to the law of attraction, again, understanding yourself, understanding life, feeling your dreams, understanding that life is the mirror to your vibration, so you're never upset about it, you understand and accept it. If you're doing that with your energy through the day, your thought energy, then you're going to be receiving the abundance of everything you want that life has caused you to ask for. So that's really all of the laws of the way that this universe is structured for human life. And when you understand it, then it makes it very easy. And you can see why I say life is easy, and it's easy to feel good. Very clear in this video. But if you don't understand that, if you're saying life is hard, then you're not fully understanding this yet. And so you want to spend some more time on it. Perhaps get my book of life, because it really goes into all of this in detail. But you're just going to stop saying life is hard or anything's hard. The only thing that makes it hard is when you don't have the kind of thinking that I showed in this image. If you're not thinking the thoughts about yourself that are in alignment, if you're not thinking about the way that life works so that you can have certainty of everything, if you're not understanding that everything in your life is a reflection back of your energy, then you're going to be bothered and upset. And then you're not going to be really all that certain about your dreams. You're not going to be really focused on them in a way that you feel them. You're just sort of wondering, and it's all low vibration stuff. So that is again, that's the way that the cycle works. And when you know how it works, then it is very easy and enjoyable, as it's meant to be, as we come it to be. And when we don't have the information, then then that's what makes it hard. That's the only thing that makes it hard. That makes anything hard. When you try to do anything, you want to do anything, you if you know how it works, then you learn it, and then obviously you get better at it as you do it. But the basis is you know how to do it, you have information on how to do it, and then it just gets better and better. And it's the same thing with life. So humanity has been living without this knowledge for a very long time. And that's quite obvious as you look at history, human history, and even present moment today, your life, your people in your life, their life, and across the planet. We're missing something, and this is it. This is what we're missing. Get this and live it, and then it will change everything in your life, and together it'll change the planet. Okay, that's the message for today. Thanks for listening in. If you have any questions, leave them on the post, and enjoy your day.